Hello, this is David, and in this video I'm going to be conducting a technical analysis of my 200 meters freestyle race from the Swim England Masters Nationals Short Course Swimming Championships 2024. For those of you that were following my channel as the race took place will know that I came in with a personal best time of 2 minutes 17.51, knocking nearly a second off of my previous personal best of 2 minutes 18.47. So an absolutely incredible race for me as far as I'm concerned, and therefore we're going to be looking over what went well in that race and similarly where I could potentially improve on in the future. So if you give this video a like, I would very much appreciate it. Follow and subscribe for more swimming content, and to swim faster on limited training time, head on over to westcough.com. But otherwise, without any further ado, let's dive right in to today's technical analysis. So I need to close my legs together more when entering the water on the dive, but otherwise it was decent and I got some nice underwaters as well. I start off reasonably controlled down the first 25 and was a little bit lazy and could have gotten in an extra stroke before that first tumble turn. Again, nice and controlled down the second 25, attempting not to burn off too much energy too quickly. Very lazy going into the turn at the 50, where I could have gotten at least one, if not two more strokes before turning. The swim portion of this race is nice. I'm nice and controlled, not going out too quickly. Could get my head down a little bit more, and a nicer turn at the 75. Again, with my head, I need to be looking down towards the floor. I've got it looking slightly at an angle, which isn't the best with regards to minimizing drag. Lazy again at the turn 100. But keeping the swim portion of this race nice and controlled. It's very smooth and something that I'm generally very happy with. You can see that I'm starting to tire there, not going into that turn particularly fast, and therefore not getting much off of the wall coming out of the turn at the 125. And it's at this point you can see that I'm starting to fatigue, slowing down my stroke. Incredibly lazy at the turn at the 150. Again, could have gotten at least one, if not two more strokes in there before turning. And now I turn on the burners a little bit more for this final 50. Slightly fatigued, but trying to give it as much as I can to finish this race off well. Again, need to be doing better on the tumble turn and start to really drive home for this final 25 of this 200 meters freestyle. Cruising nice and strong, keeping it at a reasonably similar pace to what has happened before. And I come in with a time of 2:17.51. So I realised I was largely critical in that clip of my swim. However, I came in with a personal best time that knocked a second off of my previous personal best, and therefore I really need to ingrain in my head that this was actually a race to be proud of and not be too critical. It's just in my nature, always looking for ways to improve. However, this was an absolutely fantastic result for me, especially achieving it at Masters Nationals. The reason for that was because it was a nice and controlled 200. I didn't go out as fast as I had done when completing previous 200 meters freestyle races, meaning I had more energy for the final 150 meters of my swim. Previous 200 frees, I've gone out far too quickly, and as a result, just haven't had the energy to come home strong in that final half of the race. So really good, it was really well controlled. I could have done pacing a little bit better. I know that there's room for improvement. Again, I probably still went out a little bit too quickly. However, to have gotten a 1 second personal best just goes to show that I'm really advancing in the right direction here, and in just keeping things a little bit more controlled over that first 50 and 100 meters means that I'll really be able to bring things home in the second portion of the race and take even more time off of that personal best of 2:17. So the positive from that race is that it is as well controlled as I ever have controlled a 200 meters freestyle race, and therefore really deserve credit there. However, the key area for improvement for me in that race is with regards to the tumble turns, most notably discipline going into the wall on several of those tumble turns. You notice that I could take at least one, if not two more strokes going into the wall. And the reason for that is simply fatigue. I'm getting tired and therefore getting lazy with doing those extra stroke or two going into that wall, making sure that I've got that momentum going into the wall so I can really drive out of the wall with increased speed. So adding more discipline there will mean that I get more oomph coming out of the turn, which will really launch me down each and every length for that 200 meters, which is important because maintaining the momentum, getting as much speed as I can off of each wall is really going to propel me to greater speed and improvements in my 200 meters freestyle time. So really ensuring that I maintain that discipline on the turns and maybe reducing the speed of the swim for me to ensure that I'm capable of doing that might be something that I need to take on board and do going forward. So really ensuring that I have that discipline going into those turns, driving hard off of the wall, making sure that that tumble turn is nice and quick and I'm really getting a nice amount of force and power off of the wall to propel me down each length. And whilst I may lose only a little bit of time on each tumble turn, there are 7 turns, my maths is failing me at the minute, 7 tumble turns I think throughout the duration of a 200 meters freestyle in a short course setting, and therefore if those all build up and can contribute to a large amount of time. It was noticeable versus the other swimmers where I was catching them up on the swim, but because I was losing so much time on the tumble turns, that by the time I started down the next length, any advantage that I'd gained or any catching up that I had done was ultimately lost because, yeah, my tumble turns were not so good. The only other minor thing that I can spot in this race was the need to close my legs together on the dive as I enter the water. This is not necessarily specific for a 200 meters freestyle, however, is something that I need to be doing on all of my races, on all of my dives. So just having the discipline there, again, once I've pushed myself off of the blocks for that dive, trying to really jump into that streamlined position as quickly as I possibly can, not only with my arms to get the good entry and reduced drag there, but also on my legs as well. So again, a little something for me to work on that will not only improve my 200 meters freestyle time, but my times for all of my races. However, nonetheless, that was an extremely successful 200 meters freestyle for me. As I say, knocking a whole second pretty much is nothing to be too upset about. In fact, it's something to be incredibly happy about, and therefore I should really be proud of this 200 meters freestyle. And again, I'm very excited to see how I can improve on it, taking into account the points that I've discussed in this video. But otherwise, that's it for this technical analysis. I've been David Westcough. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. For more swimming content, subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Go from fitness swimmer to confident competitor by taking part in my Master Swimming Bootcamp at westcough.com/bootcamp, or watch another of my videos.